Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Hey, Badir, Donnie, how you guys doing? Bit of a slow night, huh? Hey, Marcus, how you doing? Nate, what's up? Hey, Cisco Aloha, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Not much going on to this morning, huh? Market's working as it should. Yesterday we had a we had a good distribution. You know, we had a gap and allowed wholesale to get rid of this inventory up here, put it on sale at the end of the day. So, like I wrote that up in the morning and I said, that's liquidating inventory at the end of the day into wholesale hands, redistributed into the retail flow for profit. So, perfect night market. Everything's working fine. A little sticky right here because we're in distribution above 7,000, right? Let's go take a look, see where the stops are. Now, for example, say you were shorting, let's see, say you decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to build a little short position here, because it's kind of hard to scalp. So if you were short against that high, you'd see that K period, opened one tick up, couldn't take the overnight high. So maybe you start building a little short position between 2 and 3, 1 and 3. And your first targets would be these lows. So if you can't take out those lows, then I'm going to have to sit in this position, or I'm going to have to start cutting contracts, that kind of thing, right? And that's really the thing about trading a position or building a position, a short position or a long position. You have to be able to take the business expense, right? So say you're short maybe 2.5, an average of 5, 10 contracts. And if it gets down and takes out this low, that's great, right? If it takes out that low, even better, right? And then the next lower stops would be. So if you use a half-hour candle chart, you can kind of get the same result. You can see where all the stops are at the bottom of each half-hour candle. That'll give you your targets. So for example, if you're shorting this area, say you're shorting, you put a couple of contracts out and you're shorting, well, your risk is here, right? And then your out is here. So this is your warning level and this is your stop, okay? So the reason that you would be shorting is because you see a distribution and overnight inventory is, I think, almost 100% long. It's about, yeah, 99.999% long because there's only maybe less than 100 contracts traded underneath the close, right? So say you short, I'm on the micro here, got a few out at 7,001.38, right? That is a poor low from yesterday. Keep that in mind. So we had competitive buying down there, right? So say you shorted a few here. If it starts getting, you could use different references as your sort of warning levels. Like there's your time point of control at 2.25. There's the K high at 4.25. So say you're short under 2. Say you got into it a little late, like I did on these two micros, right? And this is the first trade I've really taken in the last. I didn't trade yesterday or the day before. And I'm not sure if I traded on Tuesday. I've been really, really sick. Today's the first day that I kind of have a bit of energy, which is like, wow, pretty amazing. This flu was a real killer. So, it took the I low, and you see it's just stuck. Now let's go look at our candles. Thanks, my dear. Yeah, feeling a little bit better today. So I have a 7,025 to 3 3/4 balance. I used a distribution balance instead of an accumulation balance because we opened and we went straight up. So VWAP's down here at 69.95. We're completely in distribution. If this market does break, the next area sort of would be this 69.98 where there'd be some bids. So that's lining up on the candles as well. So now if it starts getting over 7,002, I know the short's probably not going to work, right? The best thing you can do for yourself when you're in a trade and it starts going the wrong way is mentally be okay with getting out of it, right? So the business reason for getting into the trade was inventory short and you see a seller. But what if that seller starts to raise price or that group of sellers starts to raise price? Your short's not really looking that good now, is it? So this is what we're trying to teach you. When people come into our room at the trading syndicate, we try and teach people how to manage their expectations, right? So if you understand the business, you can manage your expectations and you can make better business decisions. That's what it's really all about. I'm going to go put a bid down at 7,000 and then another bid just underneath it. And we'll see, right? Thanks, Cisco. I think you're the only one on YouTube today. The YouTube crowd, I think they all slept in. Hey, Mikey, how you doing? Granted, if I had woken up, that's okay. I'd rather you guys talk in the room. It's big rages lately. See? Now let's see where the sellers are. You need to finish the week green? What are you trading? You guys must be trading something. Sure not trading ES because it's not moving. How are the silver guys doing? The silver kids, $90 still, eh? Well, hey Ryan, hey Sophie, how you guys doing? Yeah, I don't know anything about the game of poker. I've never played it. I just never got into it. I had a buddy of mine who was in the 80s. He would play poker for a living, and then when he did well, he'd go and travel around the world and stuff. And when he did badly, he'd work as a waiter at a French restaurant. So and that's when poker was played in the back rooms of like Chinese restaurants at 4 in the morning, and everybody looked like some kind of sketchy criminal. It's very different now. Oh, is it? Yeah. Ah, the last thing I want to do at night is gamble with money. That's, no thanks. So I was short a couple at 7,00138 on two, and I just scratched it. As soon as it got over 7,002, I just scratched the trade. No sense staying in it. It's too slow. It's really popular. I mean, our partner Ray used to play it professionally and go to tournaments and all of that stuff. But I figure I have to sit still long enough in trading. It's enough. But it is very popular. Okay, you put in a buy order at one and didn't get filled. That's good information, Badir. That's good information, my friend. Yeah, let's see. You got 15 minutes till London opens. Maybe it could shake something loose. Hey Ed, how you doing? Good morning or good evening, wherever you are. Well, for you young folks, JP Morgan is hiring across Europe as investor confidence is rising. Read that in Bloomberg early this morning. The bank has capital to deploy, according to their co-head of global banking. So anybody, hey Mikey, maybe time for you to go back. Hey, Europe's not bad, man. Maybe you could get a gig in Spain. I'd live in Spain, in a New York second. Oh. Hey, check this out. And China is clamping down on high-speed traders. They're removing servers. That's our news for this morning. I never read the news, but for me, it's more like the gossip pages. There you go. Well, it's a good thing I scrubbed that short because I would have been probably off side 3 or 4 points now. See? So you find the bid. Once you find the bid, just, I took that test short. I was short in bad trade position. I was short down here, right? And as soon as it started creeping over the twos, I was like, I see this. Writing's on the wall. Get out. uh, uh, let's see if we could take the overnight high. And this is the same thing. You'll see this pattern, and this is not a chart pattern, but it's a business pattern. You'll see when a market liquidates, like it gapped up and it liquidated at the end of the day. And while we're still in a uptrend, which we are, right? I was short 2 micros and I lost I don't know, probably lost $10 all in all with fees and everything. But it's the first trade I've taken all week, so yeah, no big deal. I always trade the micro when I start, just to see if my brain is working. Jerry, you're exactly right. Yeah, you understand it correctly. The wholesale is liquidating their positions at the top and then buying it back and selling it slowly on the way up. Exactly. Yeah. I always test, like, when you turn on a car and it runs diagnostics and it'll say oil is low or coolant level is low. Right? When I start trading every morning, I always have a set thing that I do, and it took me years to figure this out. And the micro is a beautiful thing because it helps you learn. And I also use the micro to test to see, am I seeing things right? Is my brain working? Am I executing properly? Is the order flow what I think it is? It's the best thing for testing because I took that trade. I would rather lose $10 or $11 than 100, right? You're spending $10, you're getting some information, right? And you don't have to spend a lot to get the info, right? This whole business is based on taking information and using it intelligently, right? Even in institutional trading and things like that, you'll put little orders out to see if they get taken or to judge the flow or, you'll be talking to people on the old days. Now everything's electronic. So that's the other thing. Algos don't, algos don't spread rumors and they don't tell lies. No problem. What information am I getting? Well, I'm getting information like I thought there was going to be a seller under two. The seller went away. Why would I be short? Right? There's a perfect example of using the information that the market's telling you. Right? I was short, what, 7,001 and 0.38, right? And I had some bids down here. I was just short 2 contracts, right? -2. As soon as it cleared 7,002, I bought one back, and then 2 1/4, I bought the other one back. So the information you're getting, Mikey, is you're getting direct information about the order flow, right? No, no, no. It has nothing to do with the queue fills at a certain price. It has to do with is your seller. You got to really simplify it. Now, Mike, you just got to dumb yourself down a little bit, right? Take the quant out of you and pretend you're a hustler, right? This is the problem with really smart people. They have a problem, right? Dumbing themselves down. That's all it is. You're overthinking it, right? You're just overthinking it. And that's okay. A lot of really smart data people, data scientists, PhDs, right? Trading is hard for them because trading is like a street thing. So if you see that you got a seller at two and you're short under two, and that seller goes away, why would the seller go away? Because they see buyers. So why would you want to be short here when everybody's buying the market? You're selling something that you don't own here, and the people who own it are lifting the price, right? So you just gotta, it's, why would you be short? The business reason for your trade does not exist. Get out, right? See, I've never been a math guy, right? I failed calculus the first time. Would have helped if I'd gone to class. But, you know, it, you know, yeah, don't work at a nightclub when you're going to university. It's not a good idea. Anyway, so, you know, I will help smart people dumb it down. So, you know, yeah, well, you were naturally good at math, so you probably didn't have to go to class. I was one of those kids who had to go to class. So that's why, see, like you're already thinking it has something to do how much of the queue fills at a. It has nothing to do with that. You got a seller at 2, that seller goes away. Get out if you're short. You've lost your backup, right? Your backup is that seller at 2. That's like, it's like backup. Like you get into a bar fight, right? And your buddy's standing behind you, and he's like an MMA fighter, right? So you're like, oh, good, I got backup in the fight. But then you turn around and your buddy starts talking to a girl. Your backup's gone. It's time to get out of that bad situation, apologize to the guy that you insulted, and leg it, right? It's the same thing in a trade, right? Math is amazing if it's applied correctly. Problem is, how do you apply it in a practical manner? This is what I try to do. My goal is I have a lot of people who are doctors, PhDs, research scientists that I mentor. And what I do is I take the book smarts and I combine them with the street smarts, and then we've got a killer, right? That is my specialty, is to take really smart people and give them street smarts. That way, I build killer traders. That's what I do, right? The combo is lethal. It's good, Jerry. You just, you had some time off, right? The problem is the math people don't know what to do when they get punched in the face, right? That's the only problem. I teach them how to avoid getting punched in the face and how to not get punched too hard and how to shake it off, right? Exactly, Alexander, right? So if you could combine the book smarts and the street smarts, now you're cooking with gas. This slow creep is the worst type of short. So we're just gonna have to wait. Let's see when London opens. Does London get any lower? Can London correct inventory lower? If it can't, where's our targets? The targets to the upside are going to be the stop up here. The open from yesterday's point of control. This will be the general area that you'll be looking at. Excuse me. Yeah, trading is like being a hunter. Like you're stalking your trades, right? And because we're retail traders, we don't have the artillery, we don't have the stuff that the large traders have. We have to be much more shrewd. We got to be sneaky, right? You got to be that sneaky guy, you know? You got to be the sneaky one who sits and waits and watches and looks for their opportunity and then pounce, take your money and run. And then don't give it back. Sorry, I'm sniffling like crazy still. It's a 3-day weekend, so hopefully by Tuesday, this flu will have dried up. Okay, we got a seller at 5.5. Yeah, but much better, Chadwick. Thank you. I'm still sick, but yesterday I was like, yesterday I had no energy at all. Yesterday and the day before, I was like, oh my God. So I had to cancel our execution lab on Wednesday because I just I tried. I took a bunch of Sudafed, but it gave me rapid heartbeats, so I had to go lie down. Sucks getting old. I remember in 2000 and was it 2002? I had double pneumonia. I had like bad pneumonia. I was coughing up a lung, but I had to make a market in a deal because we were running a stock. So I had the computer monitors almost like upside down, and I was lying on the floor trading. It was hilarious, and there was something called Advil cold and sinus, and I was like mainlining that. I was eating those things like M&Ms, get through the day, and then just crash. Yeah, yeah. When you have clients, they're like, "You're sick? Are you bleeding? Are you dying? Okay, well, we'll put monitors in your hospital room. Put some phone lines and some monitors in your hospital room. You could still make a market, right? Oh, I've traded through 2 building fires and 2 earthquakes. I remember it like it was yesterday. Yeah, I've traded through building fires, earthquakes. One earthquake was so bad, I think it was the earthquake of 2001, the Seattle earthquake, Vancouver. My monitors were jumping up and down on the on the desk, and I kept trading. Uh, yeah. Clients, they don't really, it doesn't matter if you're sick. Oh, the building's on fire? Where's my fill? Did you fill that bid? The building's on fire. Yeah, where's my fill? Exactly. Fire alarm goes off, they're like, shut the door. Keep trading. Keep trading until the fire reaches the terminals. Uh, all right, London's going to open in a minute. If it's really slow like this, we'll let London open and see if we could get any kind of action. And if nothing happens, then we'll shut it down a little early. So far, I think, quote unquote, think, it's going to be an inside day. I don't remember Star Wars, Mike. I saw it in 1977. I remember the guy with the black thing and the little, they blew up the ball and everything, but I don't remember anything else. All right, London's opening. It opens and it goes straight up. See this little yellow letter here? That's where it opens. And usually it likes to move down. Let's see if we find a seller somewhere here. Yeah, no, no. So let's see if we can take out that overnight high. Lemon usually likes to correct inventory lower unless the market is really bid that it can't. Oh, that's hilarious, Blues Queen. Yep, sounds good, Jerry. Poor high, double top. Let's see if that offer lifts. Had I been really on the ball, I would have bought the London Open, but I was joking around about Star Wars. I'm kind of taking it easy this week. If you haven't noticed, I've been a little lazy. I'll be back on my game after the long weekend. Yep, running the stops over that overnight high now. So our next target up will be, I'd say the open of yesterday, right? I'd say that I'd be looking for a seller there. The point of control from yesterday, that's where the cost basis of yesterday's inventory was. You'll notice something interesting, though. Market profile geeks like me, you'll notice that the point of control did not move down here last night. Very interesting. So there wasn't that much liquidating volume. And we did have a poor low last night. And something that, if you look at the old profile from, this is the overnight profile from not, it's like here's yesterday's trading and here's the overnight. Look at those single prints. They were just here. And you'll notice that yesterday's low just came down into the cost basis. And then today's low is right in that area of single prints. That's where the shorts got trapped. So there is, the people who didn't get to cover yesterday, they came in to cover at night, and then the price just got walked up on them. So very interesting. Little things that market structure will tell you. Exactly, right? Exactly, Marcus. Right? They stop. This market has the annoying habit of just when everybody gets short, all of a sudden the supply just dries up magically. Oh, I don't want to sell anymore. You know, and then prices start going higher. And this is the type of price action. People who trade on feel have a lot of trouble with this because everything is electronic now. So those who trade, it feels slow, it feels this, it feels heavy. They really get you because the market just creeps higher and higher and higher and higher, kind of like Terminator, right? And it'll look slow and it'll look weak and you'll short it. Next thing you know, it's like 5, 6 points higher. It just has this creepy, slow. That's why inventory is really important. Let's see, how's Bitcoin doing this morning? 95,000. 95,600. Hmm. Well, ladies and gentlemen, do you guys have any questions? You guys okay? Folks who are on YouTube and just finding us for the first time, you can find us at tradingsyndicate.org. We'll shut the stream down a little early here. Have a good morning. Yeah, we'll shut her down a little early. There's really not much going on. Always remember, though, on a Friday, right, if you are a short seller, if this inventory does not correct, right, if this overnight inventory, if it does this and it starts booking towards that Friday, yesterday's high, be careful because this market has a tendency on Fridays to sort of run up price on a Friday and mark it up. And we really don't, the inventory is pretty much below us, right? You know, we have just this that's kind of in the way. A lot of that was flushed out, and then we flushed it again. So just be careful if the market doesn't correct inventory. It should. You know, when a market doesn't do its normal business, it means there's a little bit of change, right? So just be aware of that, and we will see you at 9 a.m. Eastern time for the next session. Hopefully we get some better price action, right? And don't trade when candles are like this, just don't trade this. Right? It's very difficult to trade. It's very choppy and there's not enough meat on the bone. Thanks, guys and ladies. Have a wonderful weekend if I don't see you at 9. And the rest I'll see at 9. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye for now.